my name is Father Mike Manning. I'm a Catholic priest. For many years, I've been trying to share my personal love of Jesus Christ with many people using television. And I want to share that with you and invite you to be able to share with me as I do my weekly television program. What would you do if your marriage all of a sudden just fell completely apart and everything was hopeless? But then something happened and it turned it around and you found peace and unity. Stay tuned. I'm the only Catholic on a network. It's the largest religious television network in the world, and it's called the Trinity Broadcasting Network. I'm there every Wednesday morning out here in the West Coast. It's on at 8:30 Wednesday morning, and then it moves up there. We also go over to Europe, we go to Africa, we go to the Mideast, and we share a deep love of Jesus Christ, a belief that as Christ has touched me in the midst of my sinfulness and brokenness, that God's love for me has enabled me to find the peace and the security I'm looking for. I believe in Jesus, and I believe that He is God, and I want very much to share that. I've been doing this probably for about, it's about 37 years now, trying to share that love with Christ. I'm believing that if I can get, for example, people who will come into my life, I'd love to sit down with them and talk with them about their struggle with life. Three things happen in the interviews that I do in my television show. I talk about where people were and when everything was seemingly falling apart. And then something happens. God reaches into their life and gives them an experience of love and acceptance. And it changes them. And then from that experience, there's an open door to using talents and gifts to change the world.
Born in a little town called Pleasantville, New York, a suburb of New York City. And, it was during the Depression, and my mom had to leave school after the 7th grade to go to work, and she worked for the Reader's Digest. She was one of the 5 women working when the Wallaces started, yeah. And my dad had to leave work in the 5th grade to go to work. I mean, he had to leave school.
My dad in the 8th grade, my mom after 2 years of high school.
See, it was like that.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and they were not geared for someone that wanted to be an actor, and I did a play in the 4th grade, and when I was 4 years old in kindergarten, and I heard that applause, and
that's the direction of my life.
And I said, I want more of that. And that was the beginning of all that happened. And eventually I got a scholarship to college, and the Lord has really watched out for me all my life. And coming back to after I met Patty, we got together, and then we broke up, and I'll get into that in a second, and Patty can really give some of the women and men out there information to help them. I was praying to the Lord, and He said to me, you know, you've been searching your whole life for your father, because my father died when I was very young, and he was 39 years old. And so I just had a need for an older man in my life, for someone to, and I never really had that. I thought I had it with God, but I really didn't have a relationship, a real tight relationship, or else my life would have been different, I think. And so God, he told me, He said, look, He said, you've been looking for your father all your life. Patty's dad left when she was 9 years old. She's had that vacancy. And He said, the truth is, Gabby, He says, I'm your real father. He said, the search is over. I'm going to put my arms around you and Patty and walk you through life. And He's been doing that for us ever since. Wow. There's valleys and peaks and all those things because we're two different people, but we have Jesus. We have a threefold covenant in our marriage: Jesus, Patty, and Gavin, or Jesus, Gavin, and Patty, however you want to look at it. But He's at the top, and we know that, and He's with us all the time. Like He said, I'm going to put my arms and walk you through life. And there have been incidents that have happened to us once we've really found Him and dedicated our lives to Him, that we know He has gotten us through these situations.
I wonder what I can do to be able to change the world. I see an awful lot of war. I see awful lot of violence. I see a lot of people being hurt by others in very painful ways. And I believe that Christ, with His message of loving God with all of our hearts and loving our neighbor as we love ourselves, is the simple and powerful commandment that God gives us. In that commandment, not a restriction, but an open door to finding the peace, the love, and the security that I believe only God can give. And so I'm inviting you, please, would you be part of this experience that I'm doing? Try to watch it. We also have a web page, and you can check out the program. We do some streaming video on the web page. It's wordnet.tv, www.wordnet.tv. Check us out and watch some of the program, watch some of the interviews, and watch some of the sharing that I give of what I've experienced of God in my own life. And I hope that reaches out to you in good ways. And every time I end the program, I say this, and I've been doing it for over 35 years. May Jesus' love for you always make you smile.